Here's question 5 on the higher calculator paper. Let's read the question first. John has a flower garden in the shape of a circle, so we can see the circle up there. The diameter of the garden is 5 meters, and they've actually shown that in the question. Diameter is the distance all the way across. Remember, don't confuse that with the radius, which is from the center to the edge. John wants to put fencing around the edge of the garden. So he wants to put a fence around the edge of the garden, and fencing costs £1.80 per meter. Work out the total cost of fencing. Right, so they want us to work out what the total cost of the fencing is altogether. Now, you should remember the formula, right, for circumference and area of circle. We are needing to work out the circumference of this circle, the distance all the way around, in order to answer this question. And remember, cherry pie is delicious. Apple pies are too. Okay, so circumference is pi times diameter. So circumference is pi times the diameter of the circle. In this case, we have pi times, and the diameter of this circle is 5 meters. Okay, so I could work this out. I'm going to use my calculator to do this. So shift and then the pi button down at the very bottom here. This button here. Right, you can see the pi symbol just above it. So there it is, pi. I'm going to times that by 5. So pi times 5 equals, and if it doesn't come up straight away, press the SD button, but I get 15.70796. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I don't need to write out the rest. But that's how many meters it is around the edge. That's the circumference of the circle. But what I need to do to that is to work out the total cost. So if I just move this up a bit. So remember, the question is asking for the total cost of the fencing. What's the total cost of the fencing? So the total cost is going to equal, they've told us that the fencing costs £1.80 per meter, so every meter is going to cost £1.80. So I'm going to times 15.70796 by £1.80, 1.8. I haven't cleared the screen of my calculator, I still have that number there. So if I press times, that ANS represents the last answer on the screen, right, which is the number that was there before. I'm going to times that by 1.80, £1.80, and that's going to give me 28.27433. But remember, this is money we're dealing in, so I could simply put as my answer £28.27. Right, I don't need to round up there. The number after the 7 is a 4. If it was a 5 or more, then I'd round up. But I don't need to do any rounding there. So £28.7, or £28.27. That's going to be the cost of putting the fence around the garden. This question is worth 3 marks. If you take your time with it, make sure you remember the formula for circumference and area of a circle. You need to use the circumference formula here, right? You can answer this question and get full marks.